Hi everyone, very good morning and welcome back to Crack Grade B. So let everyone join. Okay, fine. So let's discuss the questions that we started yesterday, right? Well, I guess we have already discussed till question number 23, 24. Now we are going to read ahead of it. Few of the questions I have already discussed. So question number 25. First, let's discuss question number 24 as well. Yes, see over here. So your question relates to National Financial Information Registry. What is the purpose of National Financial Information Registry? Your options are promote financial stability, to serve as a central repository of information, to foster financial inclusion, and all of the above. Good morning. Now tell me, what is the correct option out of these four? What do you think? National Financial Information Registry. Why it has been made? To promote financial stability, to act as central repository, financial inclusion, or all of the above? Tell me your option over here. Right answers. Okay. Isha is saying it is D, all of the above. Fine. A correct answer. Why? Because National Financial Information Registry, it is aimed to act as a national level credit registry. We are going to have all the data like your what is your CIBIL score, right? Like individuals have CIBIL score, the other organizations, they also have the data regarding debts that they have taken, right? What kind of debts they have taken, what is their payment cycle, etc, etc. So every kind of information will be available under here. Now the next question is National Financial Registry. This will be under which organization? That's my next question. It will be under which organization? Quickly, you guys have to tell me. National Financial Information Registry, this has been set up under which organization or which ministry, I should say. What has happened to your answers today? Yesterday only I have told you that be prepared for the regulations, contributions, etc. Again, good Isha, it is RBI, right? So our next question is regarding that only. What is our next question all about? We are asking who will be involved in designing the legislative framework of the NFIR. So it is RBI. RBI is the organization over here which is responsible for doing this. Next question. As per the Union Budget 2023-24, the maximum deposit limit for senior citizen savings schemes will be enhanced from 15 lakh to how much? See, what is senior citizen savings scheme? So under this, what happens? Obviously, if you have crossed the age of 60, then you can deposit your amount in the senior citizen deposit scheme, savings scheme, right? And what you will get in return, you will get a pension figure out of that. So it helps in the old age. So your answers are Isha, Priyabrata as well as Swapna. They have said 30 lakhs. Yes, it is correct. So this has been increased up to 30 lakhs. Now next question. As per the Union Budget 2023-24, states will be allowed a fiscal deficit of 3.5% of GSDP. Now remember this thing, whenever you are reading the questions which we have framed over here, just remember that question can be asked in this way, and it can be asked from the statements which has been given over here as well. So you also have to remember that states are allowed a fiscal deficit of 3.5% of GSDP. Fine. Out of that, how much percentage is tied to power sector reforms? Out of this 3.5%, how much of the deficit is allowed on account of power sectors? Raghvendra, Isha, Swapna are saying 0.5%. Yes, it is correct. 0.5% is allowed. Like if you are doing a borrowing equivalent to 3.5% of gross state domestic product, then out of that 0.5% of the borrowing should have been done just for the sake of power sector reforms. Fine. Next is question number 28. See, what is the estimated total receipts in the union budget? Only yesterday we have done this. Total receipts. Yesterday we did this, right? What has been the total receipts in our union budget? Correct. It is 27.2 lakh crores. Approximately 23 is allocable to your tax receipts as well. Fine. Now next is, what is the total expenditure in the union budget? Yesterday only we have done, and it is 45 lakh crores. If someone says total expenditure, then this is the thing over there. Next question, what has been the total estimated net tax receipts? Total estimated net tax receipts. See, I'll come up to that. There are different classification, what has been added, etc. Right? So we will talk about that as well. Don't worry. 23.3 lakh crores. Fine. This is your net tax receipts. All of these questions I have discussed. Some of these I have already discussed. Then we have to discuss the contributions as well. But I'm discussing that again so that it brings a, what you can say, revision for you guys. So what is the estimated fiscal deficit as per the union budget? What has been our estimation? See over here, please remember the budget that you have been making. This you have made for the next year, right? You are not being asked the revised estimates. You have been asked that what we have envisaged under union budget. So please remember, it is 5.9%. Please do not put up the wrong option in the examination. Some of the students, they can also mark 6.4% of GDP, and that is not correct. So yes, good Aniket, good Swapna. Now next is, what is the target fiscal deficit as announced? So target fiscal deficit is 4.5% of the GDP. I'm not asking you the options over here because all of it we have discussed thoroughly yesterday. So we just need a revision, and this is the fiscal deficit target. We are going to achieve it by the year 2025-26, right? That is our target. Next, what recorded the highest export growth in the last financial year? First, you guys have to tell me what are India's top 5 export products. If you will tell me even top 2, I'll give it to you. Top 5 export products. The question is something else, but we'll move on to the question later on. First, you guys have to tell me that what are India's top 5. Leave top 5. You can tell me top 3 as well. Dear, oil we are importing, right? How can we export that? Understand it? We are importing it for a purpose. That on purpose we are importing it. It's fine. What about others? So I'll take one, the gems one, but still that is in my top 3, but not in top 1 or top 2 spot, right? Fine. So I'll tell you, number 1 thing which we are exporting is petroleum products, petroleum related products. See, when you refine, what we import is, we import crude oil, fine, but we refine it. So you see, there are so many refineries in India, right, who do this kind of work. We have a refinery in Madhya Pradesh, we have Ankleshwar, we have refineries in Assam, so many refineries. So what all these refineries do, they refine the crude oil, and then there are so many byproducts that come out of that process, right? So these byproducts of petroleum, that means your crude oil, this is what we export, and hence our number 1 export thing is the petroleum related products. The number 2 thing which we export is drugs and pharma. Now please don't that take this particular drug in the negative sense. Drugs means pharma related. Fine, I am talking about the pharma sector. And number 3, you are going to have the precious stones, gems and jewelries, etc., etc. Then it is followed by your software related things and so many other things. Fine, even in agriculture related products. But now here they are asking that which particular product has recorded the highest export growth. Export growth means last year versus this year. What has been the export related growth? So out of the options given to me, marine, agriculture, manufacturing, food products, let me tell you, we have got a very good market in the marine products, and hence the progress that we have achieved in marine products is the highest one. So please remember this. Next is, as per Union Budget, the date of incorporation for income tax benefits to startups has been extended from 31st March 2023 to which date? So you want to give certain benefits to the startups. You have decided a line for that, this is the crossover line. Up to this line, if you get registered, then we are going to give you the benefits. Till up to this time, this was benefit was limited to all the startups who were incorporating till 31st March 2023. But now this has been extended to till what time? Your answers, please. What about others? Yes, Bruce, Isha, Swapna, right. It has been extended till 2024. This is the correct answer. Next, question number 36. Currently, those with income tax up to 5 lakh do not pay any income tax in both old and new tax regime. Union Budget have proposes to increase the rebate limit. How much in the new tax regime? So, question number 36. What has been the limit under new tax regime? How much we have increased it? That's not 7%. Yes, it's 7 lakhs. Okay, great. So now anyone who's having income up to 7 lakhs, they do not have to pay any tax. Because why? Obviously, exemption limit has not been increased, but the rebate has been granted to all those who are earning an income up to 7 lakhs. Right? Yes, good Priyavrata, good Isha. Now next question is, so this Agniveer's scheme government has brought up, I know everyone must be aware about it. So this is for the people who are in the age group of 17 and a half to 21 years of age, right? So what they'll have to, they are having the choice to register into this particular scheme, right? And they will get the employment for 4 years with the army. After that, if they want, then they can join the permanent army as well. They are going to receive a fixed funds of around 11.7 lakh when they sort of retire from the Agniveers, right? So we are talking about that fund. So as per union budget, how much tax will be charged for the payment received from the Agniveer corpus fund? If someone is an Agniveer, then what will be the taxation charged? Isha and Swapna are saying 0%. Are they correct? What about others? Okay, 0%. Yes, this is totally exempt from the tax. They do not have to pay any tax on the fund that they are receiving as they retire from the Agniveers. Very good, Swapna. Now next is, what is the gross market borrowing target set by the budget? What has been our gross market borrowing target? Now please do not confuse it with the capital receipts. I have already told you, in the capital receipts there are, if I divide, there are broadly two components, right? One is the borrowings component and the other one is the receipts that you might have received, like disinvestment. Fine. So remember this. Yes, 15 point. This is the total 15.4 trillion. Now the next question is, I will be coming up to that also, gross market as well as net market. What is the net market borrowing target set by the budget? Now tell me the answer for this as well. Okay, so you all know about it, right? 11.8 trillion. What do you think? Like, tell me by yourself, what do you think can be the difference between these two? The net market as well as the gross market borrowings. What can be the difference between these two? As per you guys, you have already given the answers, Isha, Bruce, Priyabarta. What about everyone else? What do you think about it? See, we should not just learn the facts, right? We should also try to go in detail. Okay, fine. See, this answer is, I like it quite much. What something is that does not known. Fine. So understand this. Gross means what has been the borrowing for current year plus the burden of past year loans. So whenever I'm saying the net market borrowing, I'm just talking about the burden for the current year, right? What is the market, what is the borrowing that I need to do because I have generated a deficit in the current year, right? In this particular net borrowings, I'm not including the borrowings which I have to do because of the burden of last year. Understood? Is that okay? So this is what your figures tell over here. The borrowing which you are doing right now, this is for your current problems, the current things that you have done. And over here, gross market borrowings is talking about the burden of current year as well as the past year. Fine. Now moving on to the next question. What is the budgeted amount for disinvestment receipts according to the budget 2023-2024? I hope that you all know that disinvestment receipts, they are a kind of capital receipts, right? So understand that and then tell me what has been the budget that government has kept. Question number 40. What are your answers? Just wait for a second. Okay. Think about it. So Bruce and Swapna, they have given me the right answer. It is 51,000 crores. So this is the budgeted amount for disinvestment. Government has come down on it because earlier government was having the disinvestment target above than 1 lakh crores, right? And that was quite a too much of target. Now next thing, here starts the allocation related thing. We are trying to know over here that what has been the allocations to different ministries, right? First of all, as per the Union Budget 2023, how much allocation has been made for the PM Kisan for 2023 onwards? You guys have also you will also tell me that PM Kisan is a central sector scheme or a centrally sponsored scheme. Tell me. Question number 41. What about others? Good. So Bruce, Isha, as well as Priyavrta, you have given me the right answer. 60,000 crores is the amount that we have kept for the PM Kisan, as well as it is a central sector scheme, right? The contribution under this particular scheme is of central government. Now next thing is, as per the Union Budget 2023-24, which of the following sectors have received maximum allocation? Now out of these four, even if you do not know that what should be the answer over here, you can just put a common sense, right? So by applying your common sense, what do you think? Which sector might have received the maximum allocation? Your answers? Good. This is transport. Obviously, fine. in transport, we are not just talking about the road transport. Now understand, whenever you talk like sectors like this, we are talking about all kinds of transportation, right? So if all kinds of transportation are taken together, and when even if you are following a little bit of news, you'll be able to know that the contribution towards health and education is very dismal, right? Indian government is always criticized for not giving the adequate contribution towards the health and education. So that has been always remained a problem. Yes. So everyone who has guessed the transport, they are correct. And in your budget document, we have already given you a list, right? So when you will get your hands on the budget document, this is my advice to you. There is a list where we have given ministry wise allocation as well as the scheme wise allocation. Please go through that. Please read that, understand that. Even if you are not able to remember all of the data, you will get a fair idea, right? Fine. Now next question is, as per union budget, how much amount has been allocated for the MG Narega for 2023? Very important scheme, has been in the news perennially, right? Never goes out of the news. So obviously it is a important news. Question number 43. What has been the allocation to Mahatma Gandhi Narega? Bruce, Isha, Priyabarta, Swapna. Correct. This is 60,000 crores. Great. Next is question number 44. Now in this case we are talking about how much you have allocated to PMJ, Jan Arogya Yojana. Your options are 6,800 crores, 6,000, 6,500 as well as the 7,200 crores. What are your answers for question number 44? Okay, so your answers are 7,200 crores. Fine. Next is, as per union budget, how much amount has been allocated to Jal Jeevan Mission? See, you also have to tell me that what has been our target under Jal Jeevan Mission. Okay. So answers your for question number 45, Jal Jeevan Mission, you have got the 70,000 crores is the correct answer. And very good, Bruce. We have got the target that we are going to complete the tapped water till the year 2024. We have also a question that whether MG Narega is a centrally sponsored scheme or not. So what are your answers? What do you think? MG Narega is a centrally sponsored scheme or not? I guess we have covered in the ministry related schemes it as well. Fine, fine. We are not going into that much detail. Right now, you guys have to tell me whether MG Narega is a centrally sponsored scheme or a central sector scheme. Isha has got this query. We have already covered this in our schemes related video, haven't we? Or everyone has to answer me this. Okay, so I have got some good answers. I have got from Sagar, Priyabarta, Raghavendra, Swapna. It is a centrally sponsored scheme. Again, the ratio of funding between the central as well as state is for 75 is to 25, right? Apart from that, there is also one another thing. Your MG Narega is considered core of the core scheme. Now, this is the homework which I am giving to everyone. You have to read about what is the core of the core scheme, right? Core of the core scheme means there are certain schemes which government considers as the foundation of all the schemes, like the schemes for scheduled tribes, right? A scheme like MG Narega. So there will be allocation for such kinds of scheme in every budget. They cannot be forgotten about, right? So today your homework is you are going to read about the core of the core schemes as well. Is it okay? Shall we move forward? Now next question is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. What is the allocation for this? Question number 46. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana 79,590 crores. So good, Bruce, Swapna, Sagar. Very good. So have you guys memorized all the contributions? Because the answers which you guys are giving are impeccable, right? I did not expect this from you, but still you surpassed all my expectations. I'm very, very happy. So 79,590 crores, yes. Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Great. So that is what, like, if you have read something very sincerely, you will, whenever you will see the options, it might so happen that if I ask you like that please tell me the contributions and the PM Awas Yojana, you might not able to remember it, right? It is humanly not possible. But sometimes when we see the options, we know there is a sixth sense that we have that, okay, this might be the correct answer. It happens in the examination also. See, because there are so many things that we have to revise. My revision strategy has been like this that whenever I'm giving any kind of examination, whatever it might have been, there is a standard strategy that I follow, that please revise anything that whatever for whatever you are going to give examination at least 3 times, right? Sometimes people start making notes just by reading the content one time. That is not at all helpful. What happens is when we read things 3 times, right, we tend to memorize so many facts of it. So quite a bit of facts you will always remember it. Fine. Then there are some stubborn facts that you might not be able to remember. So what you can do, well, you can jot down on the paper. Like for the budget, I know that everything else I can remember. I cannot remember that whether it is a central sector scheme or centrally sponsored scheme, as well as the contribution. I feel like these are the things that can bother me. So what I'll do, once I have revised the document 3 times, I'll take a paper, I will write the name of the scheme, right? Now I'll be writing just the factual data which I need to revise, like which is the ministry under which that particular scheme is working. Apart from that, what has been the contribution scheme? Is it a centrally sponsored scheme or a central sector scheme, right? So like that, I will write 2, 3, 4 points for a particular scheme, right? more, max to max you must be having 20 to 25 schemes, not more than that. Fine. So that is how you can revise. But at the end of the day, the trick is to revise the content again and again. And once you have revised it multiple number of times, then you will be able to make short notes like this to revise. I guess that must be helpful for everyone. Now next question is, we are talking about how much amount has been allocated to the National Education Mission. Question number 47. National Education Mission. Now here the option is a bit tricky, right? Here the options are a bit tricky. So such kind of things can also appear. Sometimes our luck might be with us, but sometimes, yes, that's what I told you. Here the things can be a little bit scary and you can get lost in the answers. So this is the correct one. 38,953. But again, this is not a norm over here, right? This is not a norm always that you might be receiving such kind of options only. This is a see, in any kind of competitive examination, you cannot prepare for each and everything. There will be surprise question. No matter how much you read, right? You cannot cover everything which is under the sun. That is humanly not possible, right? So sometimes the examination is a mix of so many things. Fine, you have to apply your knowledge, that is one thing. Then by reading the previous year questions again and again, you should be developing a common sense as well. So some questions can be solved through common sense. So this is how a examination paper can be solved. So never try to prepare for each and every, what you can say, exceptional questions, right? They just ask anything like that sometimes. So what you should be preparing, your basics should be covered very well. You should not be doing any kind of mistakes in your basics, right? Whatever you have read, if you are doing wrong a question which you have studied, then there is nothing worse than that. So you should focusing on that. Right. Next is question number 48. For National Health Mission, what has been the allocation? I have yesterday only told you that in today's lecture, I am just going to talk about the allocations. So, National Health Mission, what do you think? What should be the correct option over here? Your answers, Bruce, Isha, good. 36,785 crores. This is the correct answer. And lastly, we have got two more questions left. One is Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, again a perennial scheme, remains in news. So we can't miss that. And lastly, you have got Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Now tell me, what are the allocations for Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana? What do you think? Question number 49. Good. 19,000 crores is the allocation. And for Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana? Again, confusing question over here. Question number 50. This is the answer. 10,787 crores. Fine. So these have been your budget related questions, right? And I'm very happy that all of you have answered so many of the questions correctly, right? I honestly did not expect that. So it is a win. Now, how you have to revise this budget document, let's discuss that in few minutes. Yes, of course, you will. Sagar, you will get. So understand this, budget, economic survey, these kind of documents, they are important for every kind of examination, right? So if you have purchased any kind of course, see, so much of help. Now understand this. Please revise the budget document at least 3 times. Please keep tab on all the allocations. Please don't try to do the PhD. You just have to go one step further, right? One step further means how you have to go. Let me tell you. So when you will have this budget document with you, if any kind of scheme is mentioned, then just go and read about that scheme thoroughly, right? Thoroughly means just see that what all are the facts. If anything has been changed, that will be given in the budget document itself. But apart from that, you should have an understanding about the scheme, number one thing, right? Because we cannot just focus on the budget document, we also have to talk about the schemes which are mentioned in the budget documents, because that becomes important. For example, senior citizen saving scheme, we have already covered that in our schemes related video, but because this has been mentioned in the current budget, it becomes more important. Apart from that, any kind of thing that has been mentioned, please look that which organization is responsible for it, or which is the ministry under which it falls, right? These should be the basic data that you should be having. Please write in the PDF itself if you are printing that particular PDF. No, only just for the current year, nothing else. Don't go beyond that, right? And even in figures, what you have to cram about, we have already talked that what is the tax receipt, what are the other kinds of receipt, what are the total capital receipts, right? What is the total expenditure? We have already talked about that. So I guess that is very much clear to you and easy to understand. And this is totally how you should be preparing the budget. Just go one depth below, talk about the ministry, talk about the scheme, that what kind of scheme is this. Don't go into the nitty and gritties, right? And complete the budget document like that. Like I have discussed that they were asking ki, okay, what is the product that has achieved the highest export growth? So the question which should arise in my mind is, what are the top 5 export products from India? It is important. What are the top 5 export products? So I am giving you few of the homeworks. Please do these. Yes, Swapna, right. So that's why we have also discussed the tax to GDP percentage, if you remember that. You have to cram, obviously you have to cram the datas about the capital as well as revenue receipts, total expenditure. We have already done that, fine. If you will get more of the informations in the economic survey as well. And apart from that, there are few things that you have to understand. Number one thing, what are the top 5 export products, what are the top 5 import products, what are the top 5 trading partners of the India. When you will be reading economic survey, all these factors, they come into play over there as well. What is the percentage of external borrowing to total debt, what is the percentage of internal borrowings, right? From which is the source, from government of India borrows the highest. So the things like that, what is the highest, what is the ascending as well as descending figures, what is the percentage compared to the GDP, what are your fiscal deficit percentage, effective revenue, right? Apart from that, primary deficit. So all of these are important in percentages as well as in the total figure basis, right? You should be having an idea about it. See, there we were talking about the total receipts. Understand that receipts can be classified in so many ways. Understand. Number one thing, I can be talking about just tax receipts. I can talk about total revenue receipts. If they are asking me total receipts except the borrowing, when they say total receipts apart from the borrowings, then what I will do? I will include revenue receipts, fine, and I will include that portion of capital receipt which is not borrowing. So there can be several classifications as well as declassifications. You can classify accordingly, right? So whenever you are reading any particular data, just see what has been included over here, just revenue receipts, or you have included a portion of capital receipt as well. That is the trick. So thank you so much for joining in. We have completed the budget related MCQs. I hope you are going to revise budget document thoroughly and you will be remembering all the topics mentioned, right? Please focus on the schemes which has been mentioned in the budget because they become more crucial to you. Fine. You should be having a proper idea about those schemes, and this is it. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you like this video and do not forget to like the obviously video. So thank you so much. I guess economic survey has already been covered by sir. So you can go and watch it. Fine.